Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner. This is our review for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 2. I believe it's the finale. I know we get more episodes later, but this is the finale so far. Okay. If you have not done so already, please remember to subscribe to my channel and become a whole JayBird. Dun, 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 and all that goodness and stuff. Let's get ready to breathe it on out. You ready? Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Remember to relax, to relate, to release, to center yourself and anyone around you, calming energies, calming spirits, because there's too much going on around in these parts or whatever. You can also like this video, comment in the comment section. You can share it on your social media by hitting the share button. You can also follow me on IG and on Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. Okay, let's get started. So I don't have any photos because I was like, I didn't care that much. We know they all look like. We see Maurice. Maurice has been gone for 3 days taking the bar exam, okay? And it has been tiring for him. So Kimmy is planning a surprise birthday party. Not birthday party. A surprise celebration of finishing the bar. Not passing, because we don't know if he passed yet. But it's, getting to this point to no longer having to study if he passed. Okay, and completing his goal, which is a great thing or whatever. So in the meantime, before the party, whatever, he's on his way home because he was gone out of town taking the bar. And so she made his favorite meal for him to come home. He comes home. Everybody had, oh, yay, Marie's home, yay. Or whatever. He's tired because, it was a lot of stress. I didn't get much sleep, because I was nervous or whatever. Boom, bap, pow. They have a little dinner. And seeing his son, Mom, was very happy to see him. And, Monster's birthday coming up. And Monster wanted... First he said, can I stay home from school? And I feel like, I don't think nothing wrong with that. But that's just me. But then he said, well, can I have a party with no parents? We can get a minivan and ride around or whatever. I'm like, does he mean a party bus? Or do he want a little bus and you have with kids play the video games or whatever? He just meant he want to sit in the bus with friends and have fun. Okay, but if y'all do that, an adult has to drive the bus, little boy, but it's fine. We then see Mel, who goes to the promotional shoot for this place she's going to be in that I don't think ever happened. I think it may not have happened because of COVID, but still. And they're doing promotional photo shoots. I'm looking like, well, when is the play? When she said, I feel like, we doing these photos. It might really happen. I'm looking like, the play is real, right? It's not fictional. It's gonna really happen. I don't know. Anyway, they do a couple photos and whatnot. They then a run through the lines, and people don't know their lines. Mel for sure did not know most of her lines, but I feel like the scene we kept seeing where she did not know her lines, it was too much dialogue for what she was trying to convey. It was just her saying, "Oh, my Fenty order shipped, yay, Fenty beauty." Anyway, but it was Mel just saying to her friends how she knew that they were talking about her behind her back. I'm looking like, you don't have the key. I know that y'all was talking about me in Saks Fifth Avenue. I know that y'all was online and texting and emailing scenes. I know that on Tuesday at the Sizzler. Girl, this ain't that you know what they doing. Sometimes people put too much dialogue in when you don't need it. It need to be 1 to nothing or whatever, or something that means the exact same thing. 2 + 2 is 4. But 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 is 4. Yeah, okay. 2 times 2 is 4 too. Stop saying the same shit in different ways, but I digress. So we see that, and the director lady or the creator lady is like, we need to get better with our lines. The play is coming up in a few weeks. We need to get better. Okay, Mel playing herself. She should need her lines. Okay, I digress. Now, Marcel was back in Texas, okay? So him and TJ have a little bit of a conversation. And she brought up last episode that she was unhappy with him saying how he was he felt lonely, whatever. So she wants to have that conversation with her or her husband. It's going to be a doozy. So she's like, well, how was your trip? Oh, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, whatever. But right now, she then cuts him off. Why is it always about work with you? I'm looking like, But you just asked him how a trip went. He was on a work trip, so why would I digress? Anyway, so she brings up, I feel bad, you know what I'm saying, about you feeling lonely because I'm with you. Okay, I'm here with you, Marcel. He's like, well, okay, but things have changed recently. Okay, you be gone a lot or whatever, so I be doing stuff by myself. Okay, so you be at events or whatever. So I'm alone more now. It was what it was. And then I don't want you to feel like me doing things for me or whatever and finding myself. I don't want that to be like I'm sacrificing my marriage for that. And I don't want that to happen and some girl creep in or whatever, and then you cheat on me. I don't want to be like the host. Okay, I don't want that. I think even if he didn't feel lonely, y'all could still divorce as the host. It don't even have to be on somebody cheating. Marcel's an asshole. Okay? And Tisha is a bit, cuckoo a little bit. Okay? So, things can happen. But I want us to go together, Marcel. I want us to be, better as a couple. I want to be a good wife to you. I want to be a good mom to our kids. I want to be a good me for me. Okay? And what she's saying makes sense. She wants to be able to do it all, have it all, and things be good. And his thing is, we need to look. You do realize that when you make the choice to go to school and start working and doing these events, just taking time away from me and the kids. Like, it is what it is or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He then say, well, maybe you should prioritize, stuff because you're doing something. I'm like, what? So she said, well, I think we both can prioritize. Like, not just me. You're like, why is it always just me? Because you married an asshole, Tisha. You're asking yourself a question you should have the answer to already. Marceau only thinks about self, okay? Let's make that clear. He thinks about what makes him feel like things are working, okay? And anything other than that, he feels as if it's deviating from the norm. However, the reason that is because for 13 years, Tisha has allowed him to feel that way. She's allowed him to feel as if it's his way or no way. And now that she's trying to make things her way too, he don't like it. Okay, but I digress. So he brings up how, well, you think I, like working this hard. Like, I think one of us is being selfish. Yes, you. Okay, but he's blaming her. I'm saying I work this hard because I have to. Whether I'm, at home more now than I was before because you changed our dynamic. I will admit, he's right in that because Tisha chose to do what she needed to do. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but that still does change the dynamic, and he don't like it. But I do think they both haven't addressed how things need to change, and she feel like what he should be okay with me doing my own thing, and he feel like I'm gonna guilt her into thinking what she's doing is wrong, instead of being like, you know what, how can we meet in the middle? How can she still do what she needs to do, and I can accept that I have to step up a little bit more? But that will never happen with him. But I digress. She's like, we can do more things together. It's not only be about work for the family. We should be able to have more fun as a couple. There has to be something more than that. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with change, Marceau. Well, I know, if you get married, whatever, you go from being a single person to being a couple, and so you lose things. I know, I lost my last name, I lost my internship in LA, and I stayed here in Alabama with you for love. It was a bunch of back and forth, whatever, and I feel like when he then said, you take time to do you, or whatever, and I'll be the one here taking care of the family. I'm like, but for 13 years, wasn't she the one at home doing shit? Marceau is an asshole. Just so assholey. We then see Mel and Martell talk or whatever, and he tells her how he's not going to go to Maurice's surprise, you finished studying for the bar exam party or whatever. And then she's upset that he's not going because she feels as if, I just feel like you should be able to be around these people or whatever. He's like, well, I am not in a space to be around Marceau and them. I'm good on that love, please enjoy. And then for her, he also brought up how I talked to Maurice already. I already, gave him my support for finishing school or whatnot. I also talked to Kimmy, and I told Kimmy I wasn't coming. You know what I'm saying? And then for Mel to feel like, well, as adults, we should be able to, be cordial around each other. We should be able to be around each other and there's no issue. And I agree with her in that. At the same time, as adults, I can choose to not want to be around people who I don't rock with them. So I don't want to go to a joint party, but maybe he has the right to think that too. I don't think him not wanting to go means he's being childish or whatever. He just is choosing what he wants, what space he wants to put himself into. Sometimes if you put yourself somewhere where you know you might go off, and you be like, I knew it, I knew it. He's doing right, okay? Leave it be. All this shit really just happened, but I digress or whatever. But then she's like, wait, you talked to Kimmy? When you talk to Kimmy, when she came out of office and said, "Oh, was y'all alone?" He was like, "We know Chris was there, but Chris left and we was like talking." But I'm like, the camera crew was there, because we see a little bit of footage of him, whatever. I'm looking like it wasn't like they was like alone at a bar at night, you know what I'm saying, canoodling or whatnot. She there, I know Kimmy is team Martell, you know what I'm saying, she be all friendly with you, so she be like touchy. I'm looking like, is you saying Kimmy might fuck Martell? It's because I'm like, what does that matter? She then brings up how Martell was the one who said that she was a side chick just recently. So why all of a sudden is you hanging out having conversations with a side chick? Well, she not my side chick. I didn't say she was my side. She was not mine. No. And as they talking or whatever, and they get into the conversation of how either one of them has not done something for the other one in the past. I'm like, for the past 12 years? Girl, I just need them to break up and divorce real quick. I know they're divorcing now. I'm like, this is just, it's dangerous, okay? But she's like, next time you with Kimmy, whatever, if y'all beating up, I'm saying, let me know, because I will be there too. I don't think Kimmy wants Martell. No one wants Martell except for you and the mistress. Anyway, we do see Kimmy pulls off the whole surprise. You finished law school. We don't know if you passed yet, but you finished law school. Party. He was surprised. He was completely surprised. And she just tells him the point of the party was just let him know how proud she was of him for doing it and how hard it was. And she knew it was hard for him or whatever to have to just do all this to get to this point. And so she appreciated him for that. And he like, I appreciate you too. I'm going to have to make it up to you because of all the work you put in, supporting me while I was doing this or whatnot. So that was cute. You know what I'm saying? Love, kiss, or whatever. We do see Mel came by herself because, of course, Martell was not coming. We do see Tisha come to Marceau, but they beefed out or whatever. But she's like, we're going to be like the adults and put up united fronts. Okay? Even though we are on different pages right now, we would act like we good or whatever. We then see Marceau. Marceau's having a conversation with this architect lady who is another minority person, a black woman who does work out there, whatever. And apparently she put a bid in on Destiny's salon suite, okay, to rebuild it or whatever. But she brings up to Marceau that, because they of course know each other, whatever, but she brings up to Marceau how I don't think my bid was gonna win because it may have been too high because I went and sent my thing in and she did not respond or whatnot. And she bid, I think, maybe 50 grand. And so they both kind of say how, Destiny's budget is really tight, meaning she don't want to spend a lot of money, but she want a lot done or whatnot. And so people who are bidding for it, she just can't afford it, I'm guessing, or whatnot. And so Marceau then says to this architect how he heard the host possibly wanted to get into commercial real estate or whatever, and how, they usually only do residential. So because of that, when he heard from, I think, Destiny's husband, they was gonna try to get the host and or the Scots to do it, he felt like, I don't want to compete with them. I'm saying, I think, like, let them do it. Like, this would be the perfect product for them to start learning to do commercial build outs or whatever. And so, that can help them break into commercial stuff. And I'm like, okay. But then we see Destiny walks up, we see Mel walk up, we see Tisha walk up, okay? And at this point, the conversation for me got a bit confusing. And I feel two different ways. So I feel like Marceau does not want to do Tisha's does not want to do Destiny's salon thing. I think he does not want to do it, and he does not know how to properly say it to her. And so he's saying it in so many words or whatever. Because again, I think it's because Destiny does not want to spend the amount of money, and he may just not have time or whatnot. So he is suggesting, in my opinion, for him and Destiny to figure out a contractor that she can get and hire, and then who she can afford. Okay, who she can afford, who can do commercials or whatever, and then he would mentor the contractor to make sure things are done right if they are new to commercial building. But he would not be doing it per se. He would help her find someone qualified and then kind of, consult on it or whatnot. I didn't see anything wrong with that initially or whatever. And then when the architect lady mentioned how, because again, Tisha's there and so is Mel, how Marceau said, he thought that the hosts wanted to do it, and how they can take the job or whatnot, which then pissed Mel off, because Mel felt like, you can't mentor us. What the fuck? Like, what the? And so Marceau explains it that Destiny's husband was the one who mentioned they were going to go with, maybe the Holtz, maybe the Scotts. And so that's where he thought they were trying to do that. Okay. But since he did not want to compete, he said let them have it or whatnot. We were not trying to do commercial things at all. Okay. So, and even if we were, you know what I'm saying, we would not choose you as the mentor. I think when she said that, the conversation should have ended. I think Marceau kind of kept going, which made them kind of get upset, because you filled out a whole police report on that man. I don't think there's no way that you could mentor them. Now, if he meant mentor whoever gets the bid, I guess that's different. But you can't want to mentor, Holt and Holt when you file a police report against that. Like that don't work. So I was confused on if he meant he can mentor whoever she picks, versus you should pick the Holtz and let me mentor them. If he meant that, that's Marceau being a condescending asshole and trying to take dick to people. Okay, that's the bullshit. However, if he meant like whoever else you pick, I can help him that way, I didn't see issue with that. I also feel like Destiny is messy. I feel like Destiny and even her husband, who both in one way or the other went to the Holtz and went to the Scotts to have these separate conversations, both kind of playing both sides over, well, Destiny went and talked to the Scotts, and then at dinner, my husband brought up, well, we can maybe hire the Holtz, and then to bring that up, so it was like a bunch of messy bullshit to me. And I feel like Destiny wants to be involved in the bullshit, and this season it made her look bad because she kept, to me, this being messy. Even asking Marceau to do it, but then getting upset with how he was suggesting things. I felt like you were only getting upset to be on Team Male. And if that's the case, you should have never even went to the Holtz to the host. You should have never went to the Scotts to work with them, because you Team Male. Don't be Team Male and then, want to be an asshole to the Holtz. I mean, damn it, to the Scotts. And I'm not trying to defend Marceau. I'm like, business-wise, it would seem too much or whatever. So Marceau then said, well, that's fine. If you're saying, Mel, that you and, Martell aren't trying to get into the commercial part of it or whatever, then there's nothing to discuss. At that point, again, it should have been left alone. But he brings up, I want Destiny to succeed. I want to help anyone who's trying to break into the commercial field of whatever. Mel is then upset because she feels as if Marceau was continually saying shit regarding her and her husband and their business and wanting to mentor them as if he is better than them, which got her pissed off or whatever. And I'm like, I get it, okay, but I don't know if he had any ill intent. It was weird for me. So when Tisha, because she just had to speak up for no reason, wants to explain to Mel what Marceau meant, they weren't trying to do anything or whatever. It was just based on them thinking and them hearing that Holt wanted to do commercial stuff. And she was like, he meant this, he meant this. Well, whatever, your ass cannot mentor us, okay? No, how about you finish your own project? I'm like, oh, Lord. Because, again, they taking a long time doing a project with them. It was a lot of bullshit back and forth or whatever. And so at that point, with that little shady dig from Mel, Tisha was like, now that's the shady Mel that we already knew. That's shady ass Mel. Talking about we need to gift the fit. I'm like, oh, Lord. And then Marceau is whispering to Tisha to stop. just calm down. We're at a business thing, like you're a businesswoman, like just stop. You don't have to. He said if she calls you a dog, that doesn't mean that you have to start barking. You know what I'm saying? Let it be what it is. While I felt that was rude, I like the intent behind it. Meaning you don't have to react to something that someone calls you, even if you're not that thing. So we do see Marceau and Tish at the house having the conversation. It was a long conversation about, she's going on a trip to do an event the following day. He's upset at that because he acts as if he had no idea. And then because of that, he's kind of blaming her as, well, I have to cook the food, I got to do all this, And then the girl April calls her and say, hey, unfortunately we have to cancel the event because the location does not want us to have a large group because, again, of COVID. And so she's upset. Oh, I can't go. But she then still says, okay, but Marcel, I'm going to still go to Birmingham because I can go visit my mama, whatever, my brothers or whatever, and I can do that. Do you want to come with me? He was like, well, no, I don't think I want to go with you, whatever. She's like, well, why not? He's like, well, I don't really, I don't really get along with her. You know what, like, we come from different sides of the track. And she's like, what that mean? And so now she's upset. She's upset because he said he does not want to go with her to see her family because they come from two different sides of the track. Now, for me, what that means is we was raised differently. That's literally what it means for me. And I think there is no insult in saying we were raised differently. And for some reason, Tisha was pissed. I mean, pissed. Like, what does that mean? He's like, well, if you don't know what it means, like, how you mad? Like, you can't be upset about something that you don't understand. Like, I don't get why you're being so defensive. I do think Tisha instantly got defensive. However, the way that Marceau then berated her, yelled at her, and made her have to just go into a shell of herself. And I think she did that to maybe, if I just be quiet and stop talking, he'll leave me alone. Like, he'll stop making me feel like shit. It was bad. And I feel like what he was saying to her, the point of what he was saying was valid. The way he executed his conversation was completely rude, disrespectful, demeaning, and all the other words proving that he ain't shit. Again, I got his point of what he was saying, because for her to say, you talking as if you up here and now I'm down here. He was like, well, how you know I didn't mean that you up here and I'm down here? Like, what do you mean? And, it went from that to him saying, I wasn't talking about it in a bad way. Like, I don't have a issue with the woman I chose. I'm saying we all, we are from different sides of the track. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it means. It just means we grew up differently. And when he said that, I felt like, okay, maybe let's stop arguing, because he explained it just means we grew up differently. Ain't nothing wrong with saying it. It is what it is. But again, she was still upset. And I think her being upset made him be more upset. But still, how he talked to her, his tone, his delivery, his execution was completely wrong. You know what I'm saying? He said, you have no reason to get defensive about a term, different sides of the track or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Remember when I told you I didn't see a drink till I was in college, but you brought up how you started drinking the whole time growing up. You know what I'm saying? That was an example of us growing up differently. Again, at this point, it's not that bad. She gets quiet, but I still don't like the statement. And I think at that point, he just got pissed. You up here upset or whatever I'm saying. You talk as if I'm speaking down. You can say, if you can't feel bad, it's as if you still feel bad about your. It was weird. You being extra, you being too serious or whatever. You can't. It's as if you talking as if you still from the hood. And she tells him, thinking someone is talking about where I'm from is a trigger for me that puts me into defense mode or whatever because of my issues when I was younger. And those are your issues. I'm saying, that's on you. Don't put that on me. You may have grown up in the projects, but I, at one point in time, was homeless. I'm saying I lived on the floor of a church. So I'm saying I would never jab at you like that. That's stupid. That's dumb. I would never do that. I have never done that. Don't get mad at me for something I didn't do. Don't you ever, talk to me or treat me like I think I'm better than you. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at other people. Don't. And I'm like, he was just going and going and going and going and going. And then you see her like getting quieter and smaller and smaller and smaller. And then she kind of starts to cry. I'm not taking them tears. I'm saying, you're being emotional. I'm looking like, what? He just kept going and going and going. She's like, I just wish you would understand. Like I'm saying, like it's like when people say like it was a trigger. The same thing. It's like when people say to me that I'm cute for a dark skinned girl, it's all a trigger for me. You're like, you know what? You got teased in school. You need to get over that. You need to do that shit elsewhere. You can't be up here having those feelings in a conversation with your husband. I'm like, well, nah. That's the point. You are her husband or whatever. I just know, but it just triggers me. He said, okay, well, write down your trigger words so I know not to use. I'm looking like, oh my God. It was just bad. It was bad. And then, he did say like, we can't accept that we grew up on different sides of the tracks. I'm saying that's crazy. You up here acting as if you're still in the product and you're not. Get over it. Get over it. Move on. Deal with that shit or whatever. And I'm looking like, and she's like, so I guess you're not coming with me to Birmingham? He's like, no, I'm not going with you nowhere. And then it goes off them bringing up how production was shut down after that because of COVID. Marceau is a piece of shit. No questions, ifs, ands, buts, could be, should be, what's about it. Again, I can understand what he was trying to do, but the way he did it was cruel. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to say, babe, all I meant was it was raised different. Not good, not bad, it's different. You know what I'm saying? And if that's a trigger for you, I get that, but I'm not ever saying anything to demean who you were. But you do need to go talk to somebody and fix that if you are still having triggering moments from you growing up and now you 34 years old. And you should talk to someone about that. It was the way he could have handled it better. But it was just messy and mean and nasty. And it's because he kept going and going. I'm looking like, because once she stopped talking, it's like she sucked in herself for some shit. Like, she just like, let me shut up. Let me stop. And I just wonder if that's how bad he is on TV over one little issue. Does he fuss like that at her all the time? Anyway, that's my review. Gotta go. Peace.